Shalom, Erev Tov, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio blames the Islamist Hamas terror organization for violating President Trump's 21-point plan. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan notes that President Trump's 21-point plan may contradict Ankara's foreign policy. Indian External Affairs Minister Subrahmanyam Jaishankar asserts New Delhi's deep appreciation of its strategic partnership with the State of Israel. The late IDF Colonel Asaf Hamami, who formerly commanded the Gaza Division's Southern Brigade and was killed in action on October 7th of 2023, and whose body was kidnapped by the Islamist Hamas terror group and taken into the Gaza Strip, was laid to rest earlier today at the Kiryat Shaul military cemetery in Tel Aviv. Israeli President Yitzhak Herzog and IDF Chief of General Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir attended the funeral of Colonel Hamami, during the course of which the Israeli head of state asserted that while nothing can fill the void that could heal the great rift, loss, and deep sorrow, he hopes that the return and proper burial of Colonel Hamami could grant his family some closure. It is worth noting that the Hamami family has paid the ultimate price for Israel's freedom 3 separate times. Meanwhile, parents of Captain Omer Neutra, who was killed in action on October 7th as well, and whose body was returned now to Israel over the weekend, voiced a sense of relief as their son can finally rest in the land that he so very much loved and defended.
For 758 days, we lived between hope and heartbreak. Today, that long night ends with the knowledge that Omer is finally home. Our hearts are shattered, yet at last we can begin the process of bringing Omer to his final resting place in the land he loved and defended. Omer's journey from a New York upbringing to the battlefields of southern Israel stands as a testament to the courage, to the faith, and the shared destiny of our two nations. Omer's return marks the end of our family's long night, but it cannot be the end of our collective mission.
The Islamist Hamas terrorist organization continues to hold the remains of 8 hostages in captivity in the Gaza Strip in violation of President Donald Trump's 21-point plan.
The gut-wrenching circle is starting to close for some of our hostage families, but 8 more families are waiting for an opportunity to do the same. Our remaining 8 hostages must return home. Israel's patience is not inexhaustible with this terrorist organization. Hamas knows where the remains of our 8 hostages are located, and we know this based on precise intelligence and evidence. While the terror organization continues to hunt down Palestinians, their own people inside of the Gaza Strip, they continue to violate the agreement.
It is important to stress that the Islamist Hamas violates President Trump's 21-point plan on multiple levels.
On Sunday, the IDF identified a terrorist who crossed the yellow line and advanced towards IDF soldiers in northern Gaza, posing an immediate threat to them. In accordance with the ceasefire agreement, the IDF eliminated the terrorist approaching them. And earlier today, the IDF identified terrorists who crossed the yellow line again and advanced towards our troops in southern Gaza, posing an immediate threat. The IDF responded from the air and on the ground and struck the terrorists to remove the imminent threat. As Israel continues to uphold its side of the agreement and bring in hundreds of trucks of aid on a daily basis into Gaza, again, Hamas shows their true colors by derailing humanitarian aid meant for their own people. CENTCOM, who is working directly with the IDF, released drone footage of terrorists looting an aid truck traveling as part of a humanitarian convoy, delivering assistance from international partners to northern Khan Yunis. Hamas terrorists attacked the driver and stole the aid truck.
U.S. Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio reposted the referred to video that was published by the U.S. Central Command highlighting that Hamas's theft of humanitarian aid undermines international efforts in support of President Trump's plan to deliver critical assistance to innocent civilians. Secretary Rubio further stressed that Hamas is the impediment and that they must lay down their arms and stop their looting so that Gaza can have a brighter future. And while America's top diplomat and chief security advisor couldn't have been more clear in laying blame on the terror group Hamas, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, however, after meeting with Hamas leader Halil al-Hayya and also with the foreign ministers from Qatar, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Jordan, and Indonesia, among others, blatantly claimed that Israel was actually the party that violates President Trump's ceasefire.
Ancak mutabakatın harfiyen uygulanması konusunda bildiğiniz gibi bazı sorunlar da yaşanmakta. İsrail ateşkesi düzenli biçimde ihlal ediyor ve insani yardımın ihtiyaç duyulan düzeyde ulaştırılmasına engel oluyor. Artık son derece kritik bir aşamaya ulaşmış durumdayız.
The Turkish foreign minister's blatant misrepresentation of the situation also stressed with regard to prospects of deploying troops in the Gaza Strip as part of an American-led international stabilization force that it would be hard for countries to deploy their armies in the terror-ridden territory if the objectives, which include the disarming of Hamas, conflicts with their own principles and policies.
ISF'in görev tanımı, yetkileri ne olacak? Ona göre ülkeler ağırlıklı olarak karar verecekler. Gönderecek olan ülkelerin kendi prensipleriyle, politikalarıyla çatışan bir görev tanımının onların için asker gönderme açısından zor olacağını düşünüyorum.
As was insinuated by the Turkish foreign minister, the disarming of Hamas does not necessarily align with Turkey's foreign policy or interests, and therefore Ankara continues to negotiate with the United States and its other partners on the future of the Gaza Strip.
Biz barış için elimizi taşın altına sokmaya hazırız, her türlü fedakarlığı yapmaya hazırız. Ama burada da az önce ifade ettim, ortaya çıkacak dokümanların, çerçevenin bizim de açıkçası destekleyeceğimiz nitelikte olması önemli. Dolayısıyla bu konudaki diplomatik temaslarımız, çabalarımız devam ediyor.
Turning to New Delhi in India, where Indian External Affairs Minister Subrahmanyam Jaishankar hosted his Israeli counterpart, Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar, for a first meeting since Jerusalem's top diplomat assumed his post at a time when the Israel-India relations are recorded at an all-time high of the greatest strategic importance.
India and Israel have a strategic partnership, and particularly in our case, the term has a real meaning. We have stood together in testing times, and we have created a relationship with a very high degree of trust and of reliability. Our two nations face a particular challenge from terrorism. It is essential that we work towards ensuring a global approach of zero tolerance towards terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. We have naturally been following developments in your region with very close attention. We welcome the return of the hostages and the remains of those who unfortunately lost their lives. India supports the Gaza peace plan and hopes that it paves the way for a durable and lasting solution.
Minister Sa'ar, for his part, stressed Israel's deep appreciation for Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was the first world leader to reach out to Jerusalem on October 7th of 2023 and consistently stood by the state of Israel during its darkest hours.
We appreciate Prime Minister Modi's strong solidarity. We remember that he was the first world leader to call Prime Minister Netanyahu after Hamas October 7 massacre, and we won't forget it.
The Israeli foreign minister continued by proclaiming that from his point of view, India, a rising global power, is the future.
Minister, I believe that India is the future. I told you that. India is the world's largest democracy and the fastest growing economy. India is a global superpower. Israel is a regional powerhouse. Our nations already shares a warm friendship. Our goal is to build a long-term strategic partnership between Israel and India.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to also thank you if you're a supporter of TV7 Israel, since your donation is essentially helping us produce our daily news updates from here in Jerusalem. If you haven't yet supported TV7 Israel, which is exclusively donation-based, and all of the proceeds go into our productions and research and everything to do with our daily programs, please consider doing so. You can donate via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately as ever, pray for our brothers and sisters who are facing persecution globally, along with prayers for the peace of Jerusalem and redemption of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, until our next update, Shalom from Jerusalem.